Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gotham Graffiti Podcast. My name is Scott, this is my cousin Gunnar, and we're so excited that you are here to join us today. If you would, please hit that subscribe bell. That's just so we can get our stuff out easier to you guys and you can see kind of what we're up to. But this week we have a pretty good show for y'all. We're going to do another version of Family Feud.
Yeah, stick around. Y'all liked that last time.
We had a fun time doing it last time, so we're going to do it again this week. But we do have a little bit of news that we found out here this week, so I'll go ahead and let you go into that.
The second Deadpool trailer came out.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about the first one. There wasn't really that much more in it. We're more so just talking about the movie itself, what we kind of want to see with them going into the MCU. I think it looks great. I haven't been this excited for a superhero movie probably in a minute. I was pretty excited for The Flash, but only because Michael Keaton was coming back as Batman.
Right.
So, this is the first time in a while that I've been pretty excited for a comic book film coming out. And, it just looks so good. I'm really looking forward to the dynamic between Wolverine and Deadpool because it looks like Hugh and Ryan have really kind of nailed that, and the writers' rooms really nailed that. I'm very interested to see how, it's said that the Wolverine in this universe let his world fall, didn't try and save it. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But other than that, just before we go into thoughts, what they're going into in the MCU in the future, did you have any thoughts just on the trailer? Just kind of...
I think, like you said, I'm really excited for this movie too. I think, this is an MCU movie, but it doesn't exactly feel like that. And I think that one of my biggest things is I know that Disney... is pretty much letting Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman do what they want to do. And as long as it kind of stays that way, and that's really how the movie is, I think that we're in for a really good third Deadpool movie here. Because we've seen in the first and second Deadpool movie with Ryan Reynolds kind of at the helm, we've seen how good those movies can be when there's not a whole lot of interference. So as long as Disney kind of keeps their hands off of it, I think this movie will be
they're letting it be rated R, so that's a huge vote of confidence, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, they're kind of letting him do what they want. So I'm looking forward to that. So
and then for me with thoughts, because obviously we see number one, it's canon to the MCU now, and then also we see at the very end of the trailer Wolverine and Deadpool jumping into the Doctor Strange portal.
Yes.
So going forward with the MCU, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
As someone who's not necessarily, you like Wolverine, but not like a diehard, right?
Right.
Would you want to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the MCU in some form, or would you like it to be a fresh take?
I wouldn't mind seeing Hugh Jackman.
You wouldn't mind seeing Hugh
because
continue
it's almost gotten to the point where it's like Hugh Jackman is what Robert Downey Jr. is for Iron Man, where it's like he's Wolverine.
Yeah.
So if you were to cast someone else as Wolverine, it would just kind of be like, but he's not Hugh Jackman. He was good, but he's not.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. My only thing is if they're trying to make a young X-Men, I don't know how you have 50-year-old, because I would love in theory to have Hugh Jackman in the MCU.
Right.
But I wanted to see I was curious to see your thoughts on that. But other than that, going forward, just don't put Deadpool in everything now, please.
Yes, please don't.
I think Marvel understands that that's really the only good thing they've got going at the moment. And so don't do a DC with Harley Quinn in 2016 just don't flood Deadpool content out to us.
Just put him in there for the name's sake.
Make it quality. That's the thing, right? People are so burnt out on Harley Quinn now because for the last 8 years, DC's been video game, comic, movie, video game, animated movie. It's been okay, we get it. You like Harley Quinn.
She's in literally everything.
And so it's same thing with Deadpool. It's as much as we love Deadpool, it's all right, don't overcompensate for everything else and just put Deadpool in everything now. I also would like to see going forward one of two things. Because obviously now he's got a trilogy, so I don't know if they're going to do any more Deadpool movies. What I would love to see is one of two things. Deadpool being a part of the X-Men, because he has been part of the X-Men.
Yeah, that'd
be cool. Hear me out, a Deadpool show.
With Ryan Reynolds
on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I wouldn't hate that. I know that they were trying to do an animated Deadpool show
a couple years back.
4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was.
To me, it's just you've done the Lokis, you've done the Captain America show. It's so they've proven they can do it. And with a character like Deadpool, where he's already done 3 movies, you don't want to enter that territory where you're starting to do too many.
Yeah.
And so it's like, do a show. Like, just do shorter form. He's going and doing certain things. That way, also, you can make a much lower scale, which a lot of times is where Deadpool's most entertaining.
Right.
So that, for me, are just some things I'd like to see going forward. But what about you before we close this one out?
Yeah, I mean, I really only had one big thing, and it was kind of similar to what you said, is I'm afraid that later on in the MCU, when they start meshing Deadpool and all the other characters together, that it's going to kind of water down Deadpool a little bit. And so I think that like the show might actually be a really good idea, because I think that they should use Deadpool very sparingly. Like, it should be like he gets called in with the X-Men because it's a world-ending event, or like they're having some big crossover and Deadpool has to be there for whatever reason. Like, he doesn't really want to be there, but he's there. And so I think that you need to protect the character of Deadpool, because, up until pretty much this movie and beyond, he's been relatively untouched by Disney. And I think that's the best thing that Deadpool has going for him right now.
Don't Disneyfy
is that he's
Deadpool.
not a PG-13 kind of, I'm a not great hero. Like, he's just a rated R, just like being...
He's crude.
Doing
he's
what
Deadpool.
he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where he's at his best. So as long as they keep him like that, I think that they'll do well as far as Deadpool's concerned. So
Definitely. All right, well, coming off that, we're just going to really quickly address earlier this week, Spider-Man 2 hit theaters again for the one-night event.
Yep.
And it made over $800,000. So
in one night.
In one night. And it took they said that it took the second slot in movie theaters across the nation on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like I don't know what the top movie in theaters is right now, but whatever it is, Spider-Man 2 was
number 2.
Right below it.
Spider-Man 2 and number 2.
So I mean, yeah, obviously Spider-Man 3 is going to make stupid money.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3 is going to make stupid money when it comes out. I think if nothing else, man, hey Sony, we're showing you what we want. We're putting our money
Give
where
us
our
what
mouth
we want,
is.
Sony.
We're putting our money where our mouth is.
You know we're Toby fans. Come on.
I could also see Andrew's movies doing well, just because of the resurgence of the Andrew fans.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do well, and like, I don't really know how Tom's movie is going to do, and honestly, I don't really care. But
I'm sure No Way Home will make a lot of money
of course, because it's got all 3 of them in it.
Right.
So
No
it's
Way
like
Home will make a lot of money
of
again.
everything. Yeah. But because this movie made so much money in one night on a Monday. Which, who goes to the movie theaters on a Monday? But the fact that it made that much money on one day and it was a weekday, I think that shows us, like, 1, what the fans really want, and 2, the potential that we might actually get a Spider-Man 4, hopefully. Because we've talked about it on this channel. They were re-releasing these movies, and kind of whoever made the most money would possibly get another rendition of their franchise.
Right.
So that's what we're really hoping out of this, and we might go see Spider-Man 3 in theaters. We're debating on it.
I'm also not going to be shocked if we do get the Spider-Man 4, only because there's talks right now for Sam Raimi to direct the next Tom Holland movie. And so I'm wondering if Disney's like, all right, we're going to have you do this one, and then maybe after that...
Maybe it'll actually be a good Spider-Man movie then.
Yeah, as much as I cannot stand Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe, if Sam Raimi's directing the movie, I will 100% go in with an open mind and enjoy it. So, but yeah, go see Spider-Man 3, guys. It comes out next week. And also just, I love that the videos came out of, like, when he's doing his final swing and everybody's clapping, everybody's cheering. They just don't make them like that anymore. So, but yeah, we just wanted to address that really quick. And next, we're going to go into the Read of the Week.
All right, so for this week's Read of the Week, I will be doing it. I know, shocker.
2 in 1 month.
2 in 1 month. I know that like never happens. But we have, for this week's Read of the Week, we have Batman Last Night on Earth. So for those of you who don't know what this is a DC Black label. If anyone has seen the art of Batman carrying Joker in like a little like jar of some kind, that's where this comes from. To kind of, I won't spoil it, but to kind of give a little bit of context, essentially the world has ended and Batman had absolutely no idea. He's been in a coma for a while, and so he wakes up and kind of comes to the realization of everything that's happened, and like throughout the story, he's trying to reunite with some of his friends in the Justice League and trying to find out what happened to Gotham City and, some of the Robins and the Bat family and all of that. But it's a really good story. The art in here is really good.
Guys, it's Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Yeah,
it's the all-star team.
Exactly. So, but you get some really good twists and turns. There's a new villain. His name is Omega, and he's kind of the one who orchestrated the whole end of the world. I'm not going to tell you how, but also it's a secret who he really is, and you get to find out by the end of the book. And funny enough, I was actually I read this while I was flying back from being out of town, and while I was on the plane, I finished the book, and I was like, no way, that's who Omega is? Are you serious? Like, it was not who I thought it was going to be.
Guy next to you, like, shadow reading it?
Yeah,
like,
basically. But, yeah, so if you have not read Batman Last Night on Earth, I highly recommend it. And just so you know, to reiterate, it is a DC Black Label. I didn't know that going in. So
really quickly, if you don't want to go pick up the trade, DC just put out into trade the omnibus of the Black Label Metal stories.
Yes.
So if you want to just read the isolated, because that's the thing, it's a massive arc.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Superman and Wonder Woman stuff in it too. So if you just want the good Batman stuff, go pick that up. If you want to pick it up in full, you can go pick up the Omni, because I think they literally just released it this week into trade. So.
Yes. So, but this week's Read of the Week, Batman Last Night on Earth.
All right, we're back. Family Feud, rendition 2. Y'all really enjoyed this last time, so we're doing it again. I won last time, so we'll do the same thing for verses. We'll keep a record here. What we're going to do is there's been some slight rule changes. So what we've addressed is there are going to be questions going forward where there can be 2 answers. So not last week, but if you watched previously for the Batman the Animated Series section, I said which episode won an Emmy. My answer was the Feet of Clay episode, but he said Heart of Ice. They're both technically correct, but we didn't give it to him. So in future instances with stuff like that, we'll give you the point.
Well, yeah, there was another one where I was like, which Spider-Man villain can shapeshift? And you said Chameleon, I said Sandman, but those are both correct.
Right.
So going forward, we're just going to be more mindful. If there's more than one correct answer, we're going to go ahead and either give them half points or just go ahead and give it the full one.
Yeah, if it's like a crappy one where either one of us maybe mistook something or confused it, but the other person wasn't right or wrong, we'll give you half of the point.
Yeah.
So all right, why don't we go into your first category?
Alrighty, so for my first category, and so remember, some of these categories will be repeats from last week, some of them will be new. So, but getting into it, we have Batman rogues for you.
Okay.
Now, these rogues that I have mentioned, some of them are very well known and some of them are not. So,
okay.
I'll be interested to see if you can get 300. So for the first one, for Batman rogues, for 100, which Batman rogue pretended to be a different Batman rogue? It's in a famous, I won't say what it is because it'll definitely give it away, but it's in a...
The Riddler.
Kind of. It was the Joker when he pretended to be Black Mask in Arkham Origins.
Okay, so we just thought, do we give that to me because it's technically right?
Because the Riddler, are you saying when he was pretending
Because the Riddler was pretending to be Hush, but it was actually the Riddler.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Okay, yeah, I'll give you 50 points for that. So 50 points for that. Okay.
So we get a half for that.
Yeah, so half point for that. We're already establishing a new rule. This is great. Okay, so for 200, this Batman villain was only in one movie, and it's not a Batman movie.
This Batman,
so is
it live action or is it animated?
Live action. He's only in one movie, but it's not a Batman movie. It was in a different movie.
Oh, Black Mask, Birds of Prey.
You get another half point. I said Polka Dot Man. I keep forgetting there's more than one right answer for this. Okay, so you get 100 points for that. Okay. I know there's not 2 right answers for this one. Okay, because it was only in...
This wasn't intentional. We weren't trying to get into that right away.
No, we weren't. Okay, so which Batman rogue uses a formula to create genetically superior animals and uses them to attack Gotham City?
Okay, I'm going to ask for clarification because there is 2 answers. Are you asking about the animated series villain or the Batman Beyond villain?
The animated series.
Oh man, I'm not gonna remember his name. Oh wait. Yeah, Roland Daggett.
No, it was Farmer Brown. The episode from the New Adventures with Batgirl. Remember?
Oh, I think you said enhanced. But the enhanced animals is Tiger when Selena becomes a cat.
No. He attacks Gotham City with like the advanced like bulls.
Oh wait, what was your question?
I said which rogue uses a formula to create genetically superior animals to attack Gotham City.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I didn't hear the attack part, and so I was like, well, it's the Tiger episode. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Because that would have been correct if I didn't add the last.
Yes.
part.
Okay. So there was a distinction in the question.
All right. So that was a little bit of a messy beginning, but we'll go ahead and keep going.
All right. So DC here, is it?
Oh yeah.
DC animated movies. All right. For 100 points, what movie is Batman in that's not a Justice League movie? It's not a Batman film.
You said this is animated DC?
This is animated DC. It's not a Batman movie.
It's not a Batman movie.
And it's not a Justice League movie.
Is it Justice League Dark?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. All right. In this film, Martian Manhunter is one of the very first heroes taken out.
One of the very first heroes taken out. I have two that I'm thinking of.
I was going to say, he's in a few.
Yeah. Because he's not in a whole lot of DCAU stuff.
Well, no, but I mean, like, there's multiple things where they put him in there and then, like, get rid of him.
Yeah. I have two answers, and I don't know which one's correct. I'm thinking of. I'm going to go with Justice League Dark Apocalypse.
Death of Superman.
That was my other answer. I almost said that.
Death of Superman.
But he didn't die, did he?
No, I didn't say he died. I said he was taken out.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
like, yeah.
All right.
I mean, wait, did he die? Because he got caught on fire. Did he die?
No, he didn't die because remember they at the end of the movie they all show up when Superman
dies.
dies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I got that one wrong.
Yes. Okay. So in this for 300, in this movie, it explores not just like in dialogue. It shows the friendship between Hal Jordan and Sinestro before he left for the Yellow Lantern Corps.
Ooh.
I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's not the most recent one that came out like 2 years ago.
Okay. I can only really think of one.
Because he's got 3 or 4 movies.
Green Lantern has 3? I thought he had 2.
He's got 3.
Oh. Okay, is it Green Lantern First Flight?
It is Green Lantern First Flight, right. Yes. Okay. All right.
So, moving on. Let me get your points here real fast. Okay, so moving on. We have DC comic book history.
Okay.
All right. So, I actually switched these questions, so we're going to go down here first. But this is for 100 points.
Okay.
So, which Batman creator was not credited until years
Bill
later?
Finger.
There you go. That's why I switched them. All right, so that's 100 points. Okay, so for 200, what year did the first Superman comic book come out?
1938.
Correct. All right, and then, so last question for 300. This hero was briefly more popular than Superman in the early days of comic books.
Early days meaning like
40s? Yes.
And it was DC?
Yeah. Well, no, he wasn't a DC character.
Oh, you said DC Comics history. That's why.
Well, I know, but he was more popular than Superman.
Okay.
He became a DC property.
Oh, jeez.
There's two answers, but he's the same person.
Okay, I'm going to use one of 2 of my hints here.
Okay. He has similar powers to Superman. Not exactly, but similar.
And this was in the 40s, like during World War II.
It was around that time, yes. I don't know exactly the time, but it was around like the early golden age of comics.
Okay, give me a second to like run through in my head. So it wasn't Superman. The obvious answer is Batman, but that's not
right,
it.
It wasn't Batman.
It wasn't Robin. He became a DC property.
Yes. It's on the tip of your tongue. I know.
When did he become a DC property?
Very briefly after this rivalry took place, DC acquired him, and he became he.
It's got to be Captain Marvel, right?
Yes.
Okay. Captain Marvel.
Yes, it was Captain Marvel.
Dude, that was what I had in my head, but I was like, I don't want to say that, and it's like the obvious one that's not it. So yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Here, I'll go ahead.
Yeah. No,
go ahead and ask me the next question.
All right. My second category: superhero teams.
Okay.
This first question for 100 points. This team is famous for their elemental powers.
For their elemental powers. And it's a superhero team?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. I know you're going to say it, and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, of course. Is it the Metal Men? I don't know.
The Fantastic Four.
Of course it's the Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four.
Golly.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
For 200, this team as a whole are known as outcasts.
That's out. The X-Men.
Correct. All right. So for 300, this team has an influx of members because as members are in the team at a certain point, they are promoted. And not promoted within the team.
Like they're promoted up?
They're promoted up.
The Teen Titans?
Correct.
Okay.
Teen Titans.
Yeah, because I was thinking they go up to the Justice League. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Correct.
Okay. So for your next category, I call this category non-MCU. So it's basically Marvel movies that are not in the MCU.
I have the same category.
Oh, you do?
It's later on, but yeah, I've got a non-MCU category.
I'm interested to see what questions you have then. Okay. This one might be worded a little weird, but
okay.
we'll see how it goes. So, which Marvel property had 3 movies and not all of them are connected, and were mostly received poorly?
The movies aren't connected?
No.
And it's non-MCU?
No, it's not in the MCU.
Okay. So it's not the Spider-Mans.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the X-Men's. It's not the Ghost Riders. I mean, there's not... no, because The Incredible Hulk was the MCU.
Yeah, The Incredible Hulk was in the MCU. There's one pre-MCU franchise you're forgetting about.
I mean, it can't be Blade.
No.
Let's
take a shot.
Fantastic Four.
Yes, correct. Because remember
Four.
They had that reboot.
Yes, Fantastic Four.
So you got that one correct. All right. Okay, now, so for non-MCU, for 200 points, what live-action Marvel movie was the last non-MCU movie? So it was a Marvel movie that wasn't in the MCU.
Madam Web.
Oh, shoot, I have Deadpool, too. I give you half points for that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I completely forgot about Madam Web,
yeah.
So I'll give you half points.
For the purist, though, I was technically correct.
Yes, you were correct. Because I was thinking Marvel.
Didn't we all forget Madam Web?
Not Sony. Yeah, it was a pretty forgettable movie. Okay. All right, you may not know the exact answer, but we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Which non-MCU Marvel movie was the first film to gross $100 million in its opening weekend?
Non-MCU?
Yes.
100 million.
Yes. If you think about it, it's pretty obvious.
I mean, I know it was none of the Spider-Mans because the 3 Spider-Men never grossed that much. It wasn't any of the Hulks, wasn't the Blades. You said 100 million?
100 million in its opening weekend. Really, really think about it.
The Amazing Spider-Man?
No, it was the first Spider-Man movie. It grossed 100 million in its opening weekend. I looked it up. I know that's right. I looked it up.
Really?
Yeah, it grossed more. It was the first film to ever do that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first Spider-Man then.
Yeah. That's when you said not the Spider-Man. It was like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, yeah, because I was like, I didn't think movies were making that much money at that time.
Well, yeah. It was because it was the very first one to ever do that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
There you
So
go.
for my third category, Star Wars characters.
I have the same category for you.
Nice,
so
nice.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay. All right. This character for 100 points. This
Okay.
character would appreciate Joker's chemistry skills.
Joker's chemistry skills. This character would appreciate.
If you don't get it, it's going to be so obvious.
I know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of.
If you need one of your hints here, use them.
I think I might know what it is. Maybe. Is it the Night Sisters?
Bosk.
Oh, because of his
Toxin.
Yeah, his
It's
toxins.
Bosk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Because
right.
I was thinking of the magic. that
Right,
they
right.
use. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for 200 points, this character could be considered the best overall combatant in the Jedi Order.
It'd have to be Yoda. Because he's the best.
Mace
Was it
Windu. Mace Windu.
He's number 2, though.
Mace Windu took out Palpatine, dog.
Yeah, I know, but...
Wait, Yoda didn't.
Yeah, but it's always considered that Yoda's better than Mace Windu. In the high, like, during... I mean, yes, in the Revenge of the Sith. I'll
give you half points.
Okay.
I'll give you half.
Because the thing is that it always goes Yoda, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, and then at the end of the... Like, when the Republic was falling, because Yoda was getting older, he wasn't able to do what he was able to do.
Okay, see, as someone who's not as
Yeah.
diehard as he is, I always took it as like, well, Yoda lost to the Emperor.
Well, actually, I
Windu
take that back.
didn't.
If you want to go back even further, it was Yoda, Count Dooku when he was still good.
There.
Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu.
Okay, so yeah, we'll give you half points there.
Okay, yeah.
All right. This character is the first to attack once Order 66 happens. Think Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Give you a hint. You think Revenge of the Sith.
Are we counting the Clone Wars crossover with that, or no? Just
Like the
movie?
show?
Yes.
No, just the movies.
Okay, I'm trying to go back.
It's like a very popular still. It's like the very first one. It's a fan favorite character.
I'm trying to think the order in which, because I remember all the death scenes. I'm trying to remember which one was the first one.
And it's not necessarily a death scene, just like the first person to like set it off.
Oh, is it Commander Cody?
It is Cody.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
it's Cody. All right. So we'll give you all right.
Okay. All right. I won't do the Star Wars one. I'll skip over that and come back to it since we just did that one.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Marvel heroes.
Okay.
All right. So for 100 points, this Marvel hero has a very interesting haircut.
Oh, jeez, man.
It's very unique to his character.
Is it like part of his character?
More or less, yes. And some of the movies that this character is in, he has it as well.
So he's in the MCU.
Maybe. Maybe not.
It's none of the Avengers. A distinct haircut.
Yes.
And it is a man.
I said him by accident, but yes, it is a man.
It's a man.
It is a man.
Because I was gonna say Storm, but so if it's a man, oh jeez, bro.
Really think about it, because when I say it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
He's got to be in the, because I just ran through in my head all the pre-MCU. It can't be pre-MCU. Let me ask this for clarification. Is it an intentional haircut, or does he not? Is it like it happened to him?
I'm pretty sure it just happened to him. I don't think he does that intentionally. I could be wrong.
Oh, man.
It is very, like, in the comic books, in the movies, like, he has this haircut.
I'm going to go with, because, like, whenever you talk about hair in Marvel, Gambit.
Wolverine, because he's got the...
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's when you said, it's not pre-MCU Marvel. I was like, wait a minute. It could be.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed Wolverine.
All right, so for 200 points, many say this is Marvel's version of Superman.
Sentry.
Yes. Well, you got that a lot easier than the Wolverine question.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so for 300 points, this Marvel hero has fought the Hulk on numerous occasions. And I'll say this because
That's a really broad.
Well, I know there's a lot of characters that do that. A lot of the times he's like the fail-safe for when Hulk goes.
The Thing?
Yes, it was a thing.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
All right. So your second to last category, DC villains.
Okay.
This character, for 100 points, this character likes to shock Superman.
Likes to shock Superman physically or like emotionally?
Physically.
Livewire.
Correct. All right. This villain remains trapped in a realm due to a relative.
Remains trapped in a realm due to a relative. Are we talking about the Phantom Zone? Is that what we're talking about?
We could be. We could be talking about a bunch of different realms.
Oh. He remains trapped in a realm due to a relative.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. I'm trying to think of the different realms and because you have them right.
I mean, you're on your last two categories, so if you want to, you still have two hints.
Yes, I would like a hint on this one.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, let me think of a good hint here. This villain, for who he's usually the villain of, like who he's usually written for, is the biggest of the biggest bad for this hero / team.
The biggest of the...
Like the biggest threat they face.
Okay, is it Darkseid?
Trigon.
Oh, yes.
Trigon.
Trigon. Because he's trapped in the crystal.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. This villain is the leader of a small group of villains.
It's a leader of a small group.
Not like physically small. It's just it's a pretty small.
Right. I'm trying to think of the different
street level villain groups.
Yeah, because you got Suicide Squad. Shoot. Man. You said he's the leader of a small group of villains?
He's the leader. There's never been a point in time where he's not the leader of this group.
Or he's not the leader of this group. You know what? Since next category is Star Wars, I'll go ahead and use my final hint here.
Okay. So, the group that he leads, they are not necessarily evil in nature. They're not like when you think of villains, this group isn't like sinister wanting to kill your family. It's more like we're bad because we do bad things.
Shoot, I have no
We
clue.
rob banks, we do heists.
But we don't do it because we're evil.
But we're not inherently evil as people.
Oh man.
Dude, it's so obvious. You're gonna kill yourself when I tell you.
Is it Deathstroke?
Captain Cold and the Rogues.
That was my other guess. That was going to be my other guess.
Captain Cold. All right.
Okay. For your...
That one hurt you a little bit,
It
didn't
did.
it?
It did. I'm not going to lie, it did. Okay, so for your last category, this is Star Wars characters.
Okay.
So for 100 points, which Star Wars character in the movies has a unique lightsaber that's not Darth Maul?
Mace Windu.
I'll give you half points. It's I had Kylo Ren because he's got the cross guard.
Oh, okay,
I'll give you half points.
Give me
for
half
that.
on that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for 200. Which Star Wars character has been in at least one movie in every trilogy? There's 2 right answers. Either one I'll accept.
He's been in every single...
He's not been in every single movie. He's been in at least one movie in every trilogy of Star Wars. There's 2 right answers.
Oh.
I'll accept either one of them.
Okay, so this is for clarification.
Yeah.
Does he have to be, like, when you say this character, is it the actor that typically portrays him?
Just the character who's in the movie.
Luke.
Mm-mm. Oh, wait, he was.
He's a baby.
He was a baby.
Yeah, Luke.
Dang it, I forgot about that. I was Yoda or Darth Sidious. That's what I had.
You got to give me points on that.
No, I will.
Okay, that's technically
right.
That
was pretty good. Okay. I'll give you half points for that because I didn't even think about that. Okay, so for 300 for Star Wars, which Star Wars character was the...
Wait. When is Yoda in the sequel trilogy?
He has a scene in The Last Jedi where he comes back as a Force ghost.
Oh, that's right.
And then he's Palpatine's in the very last
Right,
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so for 300 points, which Star Wars character was the first to kill a Sith in 1,000 years?
I'm going to use my last hint.
Okay, he's a very popular Jedi.
The first to kill a Sith.
First to kill a Sith in 1,000 years. They even say it in the movie.
Is it an actual kill or does the character come back?
Yes, the character comes back. Because, no one in Star Wars actually stays dead. Unless it's Qui-Gon for some reason.
And this happened in the movies?
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, you got that correct.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So, shared category here, non-MCU movies.
Non-MCU movies.
All right. For your first, what was the... It's funny because I actually thought when you told me that Spider-Man was the highest grossing, I thought Spider-Man 2 was the highest grossing.
Well, no, Spider-Man 2 was the highest grossing. The first Spider-Man movie was the first to hit 100 million.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So this non-MCU movie was the first, or I'm sorry, the second highest grossing opening weekend. Excuse me.
I mean, I would imagine that it's the second Spider-Man movie, but hold on.
Think about the time.
Right. Hulk was in the MCU.
The second one was, yes.
Oh, that's right, because there was a Hulk movie before then. That's right, I forgot. I'll go with Spider-Man 3.
Correct.
All
Spider-Man
right.
3.
Okay.
All right.
Because I was thinking, because Venom was in it, and that was a really...
Black Spider-Man.
That was a really big thing culturally back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. This movie, Marvel hoped to have the same success as the Spider-Man trilogy.
This is the Spider-Man trilogy. That's not in the MCU.
Non-MCU. They were hoping that it would gain the same kind of success, but it did not.
I have 2 possible answers. So by the Spider-Man trilogy, you mean the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the Amazing Spider-Mans?
It's the first Hulk.
When
they were building that 2000s.
Yeah, you're right. Because I remember, wasn't he originally supposed to do a crossover?
Well, they were planning on making before the MCU was the MCU, they were and Hulk was one of those that they were hoping that it would pay off. So, okay, all right. For your final question for 300 points.
Alrighty.
This movie gave us one of the most iconic comic book castings in cinematic history.
That's not in the MCU.
Not MCU.
I mean, shoot, it'd have to be Tobey Maguire, right?
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Dadgummit, that makes sense.
After you just talked about that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so give us a second. We're going to add up our points. All right, so for the winner of the second episode of Family Feud.
What did I get, Mr. Scorekeeper?
Scott walked away with 1,500 points.
You want to know how much you walked away with?
I think you won, so I'm assuming less.
1,900 points. You know what saved you? It was you got a lot of the
in between. Oh, well, like the 300s.
You got a lot of the 300s.
All right,
yeah.
all right. Yep. So 2-0, baby.
I'm just never gonna win.
No, dude. You know what's gonna happen is like whether it's a versus or a Family Feud. Whenever you do get a win, you're gonna have to like make like a.
Oh no, I'm gonna make like a celebration.
yeah, make like a celebration.
I'll have an accepted speech and everything. Don't
right.
you worry. I'm gonna win one someday. Someday.
Why don't you close us out, brother?
All right. Well, hey, thank y'all so much for watching. We always have fun doing these kind of versus Family Feud segments. If you would, please hit the subscribe bell. If you really like what we do here, the long form content on our podcast, come join us. Come hang out. We love seeing y'all's comments and seeing y'all's views and everything. If you like more of the short form content, we post YouTube Shorts every now and then. So if you want to check us out there, you can. But thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.